Hey, NSPW wrestling fans, new and old. This is NSPW General Manager Jordan Peterson.
And this is Brett Tauber.
We'd like to welcome you for our first segment of Breaking the Fourth Wall. This will be our newly associated podcast on the website. We're talking about our first issue of the week. Our theme this week is tragedies in the wrestling business. A tragedy is something that WWE or any wrestling organization, mainly our focus is WWE today, thought would be a great idea, or as Triple H would say, best for business, but it was a total flop. What's our first subject, Brett?
Do I have to say it?
Yes, you have to say it.
Hornswoggle.
As you all may know, Hornswoggle, our little leprechaun friend, made his first appearance under the ring from Fit Finley in about 2006, 7. No one really cares.
Yeah, who cares?
If none of you may know Hornswoggle, he is relevant because he is known for three main tragedies of WWE storylines that could have remained awesome, but totally went down the drain because Hornswoggle was involved with him. What is the first one, Brett?
The ending of the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yes, you heard it here live on NSPW, Breaking the Fourth Wall. Little backstory. It was July 22nd, 2007, the Great American Bash. Chavo Guerrero was the Cruiserweight champion, and he was forced to defend his championship in a Cruiserweight Open amongst the likes of Jamie Noble, Shannon Moore, Hornswoggle, and Billy Kidman.
So much careers lost.
Yeah. So, anyways, the first tragedy happened when... what happened? Everyone was laid out during the match. Jamie Noble had just received a superplex, I believe it was.
Yep.
And some sort of superplex or whatnot. And Hornswoggle climbed from out of nowhere and hit the tadpole splash for the 1, the 2, the 3... And as you know it, Hornswoggle's the new Cruiserweight champion. Yay! He went on to hold the championship throughout the summer until about September, where I think they vacated the championship. Vicky Guerrero did.
Yep.
Not because he's a leprechaun, nothing against little people. But as you may know, this is a very tragic time in WWE because the Cruiserweight championship started in WCW back in the early 1990s, and it was held by the likes of Rey Mysterio, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Chavo Guerrero Sr., Billy Kidman,
Dean Malenko, and
Brian Pillman, just some of the greats. And if you guys didn't know much about the Cruiserweight division is what really helped WCW become legit during the last few years of its running between, I'd say, like 97 and 2001, and then when WWE overtook and bought out, when Vince bought out WCW, he brought the Cruiserweight Championship back in 2003, and it really was the highlight of the SmackDown tapings for the longest time.
Oh, I definitely agree. It was a good starting match for each Friday night SmackDown. It really brought out that it really got you pumped up for the show. Like, getting ready for what's to come next.
Brett, what made the Cruiserweight Championship so prestigious on SmackDown?
Oh, what made it so prestigious is they didn't need like a huge storyline with it. They could just go out there and just wrestle. I think nowadays WWE would use that to their advantage because that's what the story writers lack nowadays.
And why was it such a dishonor and embarrassment when Hornswoggle won the championship and they vacated it?
It was just bad because you have Hornswoggle, who's probably less. He's like a featherweight. He's not even a cruiserweight.
Yeah, he's a wee little lad there, Yeah, followed the leprechaun and drink some beer.
Oh, jeez.
And now we go to issue 2. So it's 2007 again. We're on Raw. Vince McMahon storyline. Vince McMahon has an illegitimate child. Is the illegitimate child Jeff Hardy? Is it Sandman?
Is it The Game, Triple H?
Or is it Hornswoggle? Keep in mind, if it was Triple H, that'd be a little weird. It'd be a little incest in the family, you know?
Oh, man.
And the McMahons wouldn't want that.
And oh, man. Him and Stephanie McMahon? Ugh.
Anyways, WWE had this great storyline going for weeks where they had this maternity doctor swabbing wrestlers and having storylines going where everyone was wondering if they were Vince McMahon's heir or long lost child. And they get down to Sandman and Jeff Hardy and Triple H and Hornswoggle, I believe, and a few other guys in the ring.
We actually did not know Hornswoggle was an option.
Yeah, we didn't know Hornswoggle was an option, but the doctor finally came out and named him. Hornswoggle is your illegitimate child, Mr. McMahon. And Hornswoggle comes out from under the ring. And it was a total flop because the fans were really excited to figure out who would be his illegitimate child. And it would have been really interesting if it would have been someone else. You know, so much play on a storyline like that. They could have revamped the corporation with a new guy or pushed a new talent.
Oh, and for the longest time, people thought it was going to be Mr. Kennedy because the results was in his hometown, so people assumed it was going to be Mr. Kennedy.
Oh yes, that is probably the most important guy that I forgot to mention. Mr. Kennedy was one of the more important guys, and since his name is Vincent Kennedy McMahon, we could have been like, Mr. Kennedy was perfect. He's got that kind of his arrogant a-hole heel gimmick going on, you know. He's an ass to everyone. He thinks he's the greatest and powerful, you know. It reminds you of the boss, Mr. McMahon. And they could have really ran with that storyline. But then Hornswoggle comes out of nowhere, and he's the illegitimate child. Totally classic WWE of building up a great side storyline, and it turns into huge main event status, and then they wreck it. So that leads us to number 3, Brett. What is number 3? The trifecta, the hat trick, the triplets.
Man. Oh, man. Do I have to say it this time?
Yes, Brett, you have to say it. The people need to know.
The revealing of the unanimous Raw general manager.
What, Brett? Could you repeat that again?
The reveal of the Raw anonymous general manager.
Give us a little backstory behind this.
Vince decided to have a computer run his show in 2010, was it? Around that time. And basically, Michael Cole will always say, and I quote, I hate Michael Cole. Anyway, they played it off like, oh, it's Stone Cold when he said, give me a hell yeah, and they tried to play it off, it was Shawn Michaels or The Rock or whatever. Make us think it was someone else, but in the end I believe it was, when was it? 2011, I think, is when R-Truth was looking, or 12, I think it was 12, I think, when R-Truth was playing detective, and he was trying to find the anonymous GM, and then he revealed that it's Hornswoggle.
Really?
Really? It is.
Really?
Really.
Really?
Yes. Enough, R-Truth was doing a detective gimmick that night, but Hornswoggle is the anonymous GM.
And if not a lot of people knew around this time, 2010 and 11, WWE had dragged this anonymous GM storyline out for about a year and a half, close to 2 years, and it was just coming to an end, and then it kind of disappeared for a few months and then came back, and we were really excited because we had some good moments with comedy heels and Raw hosts, and you know, for say there was a great incident where Edge beat up the computer and speared it. You know, it won him what moment of the year?
Breakdown of the year?
Yeah, breakdown of the year in 2010.
Yeah.
I believe it was, or 11. He won breakdown of the year because Edge freaked out because he lost a match and had to keep getting it restarted, and the GM was kind of against him, and he got annoyed and speared the computer, and I wish it would have been Hornswoggle, because when they revealed it, my heart just sunk, because they had great opportunities. There had been rumors that it was going to be something epic, like a return of a superstar or a debut of one, or one idea was Abraham Washington. That remember the Abraham Washington show? He was a African American manager slash announcer, and he had the Abraham Washington show, and he was fired for racial comments, and people thought it was going to be his return and kind of his revenge on people. But it wasn't. It ended up being Hornswoggle, and WWE next week just dropped the storyline, and it wasn't even epic at all. So,
Hell, I would have taken Vince McMahon. That would have been even better.
yep, we had a potential for greatness in all these storylines like this one. The Cruiserweight Championship, the Vince's illegitimate child, and the anonymous Raw General Manager. All three great storylines that were probably three of the best storylines in the last 8-9 years of wrestling, which has been boring since John Cena became WWE Champion, just saying. And they just had really great business endeavors and good ideas with these storylines, and WWE really dropped the ball. Wah, wah, wah.
Epic, catastrophic failure.
So, guys, we just wanted to thank you for listening to our podcast. Stop by our North Star Pro Wrestling website at northstarprowrestling.areavoices.com and leave a comment below this video and give us your thoughts. What are your thoughts on these? What's your thoughts on Hornswoggle? What's your thoughts on the struggle of these storylines and where they could have gone? What is your opinion of the worst storyline that happened that is bad for business? Like I said, the terrible business ideas is the theme of the week. So give us your thoughts.
And just keep on giving us comments, because we actually do listen to your guys' opinions. So
Help the legacy live on, guys.